In this quick lesson, I will explain how to convert or cast different data types into numbers using Python. Why does conversion matter? Well, in real-world programming, data doesn't always come in the form you want. User inputs, for example, often come in as strings, but what if you need to calculate something with those inputs? Or let's say you're building a program that pulls data from a file or an API. This data might arrive as text, but you need it as numbers for computations. The two most common functions for type conversion in Python are the int function, which converts a value into a whole number, and the float function, which converts it to a decimal number. For instance, if you have a string with the text value of 42, using the int function will cast it to the integer 42. The float function will cast the text value 3.14 into a decimal value. When working with type conversion, it's important to know what kind of inputs Python can handle. Non-castable values are those that cannot logically be converted to a number. For example, a string like hello or a mixed string like 123 ABC cannot be turned into a number using the int or float function. If you attempt to convert a non-castable value, Python will raise a value error. It will stop execution and display the error message. To avoid these errors, always validate your data before converting. You can use methods like isDigit or try except blocks to handle errors gracefully. I will cover these topics in upcoming lessons. In addition to strings, you can cast numbers from one type to another, such as converting a float to an int or vice versa. This is often necessary when you need to work with different types of numbers in your calculations. When you cast a float to an int, Python removes the decimal part entirely. This is called truncation. For example, casting the number 3.99 to an integer will give you 3. It does not round, it simply drops the decimal. Conversely, casting an int to a float is straightforward. Python simply adds a decimal point to the number without changing its value. The integer 42 would become 42.0 when converted to a float. The round function is a straightforward way to reduce a number to a specific level of precision. Whether you're rounding to the nearest whole number or just limiting the number of decimals, the round function keeps your results clean and easier to work with. The function takes two inputs. The first is the number you want to round. The second, which is optional, is the number of decimal places you'd like to keep. If you don't specify the decimal places, Python will automatically round to the nearest whole number. In this short video, we saw how to use the int and float functions to convert strings or numbers into integers or decimals. Try converting some of the variables on your own. For more in-depth tutorials and resources, head over to breakpointcoding.com. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you'd like to see more videos.